Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Frank, that swing looks lively and strong.
Oh, that had to fly 300. It's close to 310.
And from the fairway for his second shot here. Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Setting up for an approach shot here. Strong winds have been a factor all day here, Frank. What's the key to scoring low in conditions like this?
Well, sometimes you've almost got to make the ball go to ground. You just got to keep it out of those high breezes, play away from the trouble.
Good swing, good shot yet again. That is a really good shot landing close to the flagstick. Locked in on the read and the speed. Now comfortably inside that cut line, the former national champ makes birdie. Back down now to hole number 6. As we catch up with today's featured golfer, Frank, what's the key to generating some momentum?
Just hitting good shots. I know it sort of sounds like the old cliche, but plenty of opportunities. A few 10, 15-foot putts start going down. This round will change dramatically.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. The bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Just a pure strike and a perfect result. He'll have a good look at birdie now. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll. Now, just when you thought they might pick up one, now settle for a par.
Shouldn't be a problem here. Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. Frank, there's a good reason they call this 7th hole shipwreck. It's 221 yards long, and there is plenty of trouble to the right.
Yeah, water, rocks, bunkers, all sorts of things. But really, when you look at the hole another way, it shapes up for a left to right shot.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
And to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie. Well, continuing to move in the right direction now to 2 under for the championship. Frank, check out all the bunkers on the right.
I can't count them on one hand, that's for sure. Just another example of how Pete Dyer's just has gone to work in the way in which he's protected these holes.
Good contact, good result. Frank, at this, the highest level, stroke play, really it seems to me to be all about not wasting shots because the margin for error is so razor thin. He'll be pretty happy with that one. About 20 feet away, in a good spot. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Holding steady now at 2 under par. Frank, what about this downhill shot off the tee and the idea that you just want to sort of let that ball run toward the green down the hill?
Well, Pete Dye just gives you so many different looks throughout the front nine of Whistling Straits, and this really is the first example of this, plus the swirling winds that are created by that sort of tree in the mounding on the right of this green. Quite spectacular.
Officials calling that one around 310 yards. These are always tricky. Severe downhill to that green. That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time, that one gets him in the top 10.
So that concludes round one. Frank, what's the mindset after this first day?
Well, the important thing is just try and play smart, get a feel for the golf course. That's what you try and do on the opening round. And now that the players have seen it, we should see some better scores tomorrow.
EA Sports and the PGA of America are proud to present second round coverage of the PGA Championship. We're here at Whistling Straits in Kohler, Wisconsin for the PGA Championship. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, set to bring you all of the championship action. Frank, what's in store for our golfers today under these major championship conditions?
It's a Pete Dye special, Rich. Bunkers, I've lost count of the number of bunkers at Whistling Straits, but already it's been the host of several PGA championships, so it's a test for the great players of the world. But really, you've got to tip your cap to the designer. He'll tell you that building Whistling Straits was a, quote, once-in-a-lifetime thing. To see Lake Michigan around the golf course, it looks just like it's not real. It looks like you're playing on the moon sometimes. It's an amazing venue.
Settles in over the putt. Those keep the round going, those par putts. Frank, just tons of bunkers on the right. You hope the wind is in your favor.
Yeah, and sadly, your mind just about picks up on each and every one of them.
Really powering up here.
What a great shot.
That is massive off the tee.
Meters, yards, I don't care how you measure that. That's got to be what? 300 meters, 325 yards, something like that.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot.
It's at sneaky distance. Just when you think you're going to make birdie, now have to really concentrate on this and at least make par. Even par currently.
No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
Frank, how's the ninth hole here at Whistling Straits?
Not exactly the easiest way to finish the front nine, that's for sure. Slight bend to the right. Ideally, you want to hit it down that left side. Otherwise, you might be blocked out with that second shot. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin.
Got to be careful here. Downhill, he's got to time it good because your weight's a little bit more on your front foot.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday.
Rich, it's been a very good workmanlike performance. Yet another birdie.
Into the top 15 on the leaderboard. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough. He'll need to be strong with this. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Well, he's going for back-to-back birdies here, trying to jumpstart this round.
Some momentum moving in the right direction.
Moves into the top 10 with that birdie. .645-yard par 5 11th. They call this hole the sandbox, and hopefully, Frank, you're not picking.
He's gone for a little extra. Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
Wow, Frank, look at that one run, how it just blistered that tee shot.
Well, that has to be 325 if it's an inch.
Crucial eagle attempt on the way. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Frank, he had to make a run at that one.
Oh, yeah, good effort. Let's see if he can make birdie, but to put an eagle on the scorecard, what that would have meant to him.
Frank, the crowds are starting to stir because Jordan Spieth is making a move. He is only one shot back.
He hails from Texas, so you could say the sheriff is about to make his move.
Back to the action here at the 12th. It is a par 3, and Frank, a little bit of a breather, at least in terms of yardage.
Well, that's about it, because this green is one of the most undulating on the golf course. I doubt there's a flat spot on this green. Well, it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. So they'll tap in. Good par. So that is a top 10 performance through 2 rounds, Frank.
It's always nice to know that you have a shot with 2 rounds left in the tournament.
EA Sports and the PGA of America are proud to present third round coverage of the PGA Championship. Here it is once again, Whistling Straits in Kohler, Wisconsin. The best golfers from around the world have gathered to compete for the Wanamaker Trophy at the PGA Championship. And it sets up to be another great major. Rich Lerter alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. And Frank, tell us a little bit about Whistling Straits.
It's a Pete Dye special, Rich, and the golf course borders Lake Michigan, so you have these wonderful vistas should you choose to look at that. But the course itself is almost like a links course, the way the holes roll around in amongst these sand dunes or bunkers. I've lost count of the number of bunkers. There are, I think, close to about 1,000 bunkers out there. But the holes themselves are a genuine test, and it will reward a lengthy play. We've seen that in the past champions there, but it's just a great test from the first hole to the 18th.
Continuing his fine play, another beautiful approach shot. Couldn't be a problem here. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just a couple of feet. Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
Ready to tee off at this magnificent second hole. Frank, all I see are bunkers and water.
Oh, well, that's pretty much what everybody else is going to see as well. Ideally, hit it down the left, though, and then you don't have a blind second shot. Even though you can be on the fairway on the right side, well, you won't see the green. Oh, that's fine.
And that's going to stay on the fairway here at the second hole. And now the second shot here at this par 5. He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Locked in on the read and the speed. That is a phenomenal roll, Frank.
From downtown.
Now the stunning 188-yard par 3 third here at Whistling Straits.
Yeah, the green angles to the left. You have to be careful because it's well protected by those huge bunkers and dunes on the left.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Standing over his birdie putt. Oh, I thought he had that.
Now, just when you thought they might pick up one, now settle for a par.
That's a solid par. Still in it, Frank. So off the par 3 third, now a beefy par 4, Frank.
And it's called Glory. Now make 4 here, give yourself a self 5.
It's nice to roll in a 25-footer now and then. Those feel good. But still, there's nothing like hitting that perfect tee ball. Long and straight.
Yeah, you can puff out your chest, last to play, the advantage, holes shorter. Basically, the list goes on.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Pretty good shot right there. Nudge this one home, finish it up. Always take that. Good par putt right there. So through 54 holes, a really good position inside the top 5 with 1 round to go.
Yeah, and those handful of players that we're looking at, Rich, they certainly have looked the best players this week, which makes tomorrow look like a real thriller.
PGA Sports and the PGA of America are proud to present final round coverage of the PGA Championship. We're here at Whistling Straits in Kohler, Wisconsin. Rich Lerner pleased as always to be alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, set to bring you all the action. Frank, I don't know if you remember those posters depicting fantasy golf. You had like a long par 4 up Kilimanjaro, a testy par 3 around the Matterhorn. How about a never-ending par 5 off of the shores of Lake Michigan? Welcome to Whistling Straits.
Yeah, Pete and Alice Dye designed this golf course, and you could say it's diabolical when it's stretched out to 7,800 yards. I guess if you feel like playing off the men's tees.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Good swing, good shot yet again. Well, that's just a tee to green clinic, a seminar on how to do it the right way. Every single green in regulation. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage, and you're not going to birdie every hole.
Did the job right there. Par 5 11th, and Frank, just a few bunkers here on this hole.
A few. I've lost count of how many bunkers there are on 11. Ideally, you want to hit it down the left side, and this really, you take the head cover off, a good long one, because 645, doesn't matter whichever way you cut it, it's going to be a few good hits, plus some more.
Nice long tee shot there and a good lie, Frank.
Second shot.
Good contact, good result. Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Birdie try up next. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie.
A few more birdies like that, Rich, you never know, just might sneak placed on the podium.
In the top 10 right now. I like the looks of this one. Just an incredible shot. That is a very makeable putt after a great approach. Well played. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. This can be a cruel game at times.
Now putt for par.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Frank, here at the 13th, a lot can happen.
Just a gentle dogleg to the right, or at least the hole moves to the right, plus the slope of the fairway. So you've got to aim left of center. Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. These are fun shots to play, but they can be scary because if you don't take the right club, this ball could sail forever, never come down. It is well down the hill to that green. Just a pure strike, a perfect result. He'll have a good look at birdie now. Now a 7-footer. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Well done. So with 5 holes left to play here at the PGA Championship, we arrive at this dogleg left, par 4.
Well, it's called Widow's Watch, but really it's a thinking man's hole. A long iron, maybe even a fairway wood just down the right side. That should set up a relatively simple short iron.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Frank, with the drive off to the left side, what's the player looking at now?
Well, a blind second shot, so you've got to pick one of those mounds in the distance to really focus on the line here.
Really in control of this hole. Birdie yesterday and another opportunity on the way. He really likes this hole. Made birdie yesterday. Can he do it again today? Good birdie right there, Frank.
Time to get another cup of coffee. Things are heating up.
The 15th now, and a 503-yard par 4 here at Whistling Straits.
Well, it's certainly beautiful to look at, but tough to play. Bunkered once again left and right, but it's a hole that you have to hit a driver down here, just purely because of the length of the hole. Rich, there's great drivers of the ball. We've seen Norman, Nicklaus over the years, but that there is just excellent. Lovely full turn, plenty of power, and just piped it.
Made it look easy right there, and he's such a good-looking player. When he's dialed in, swinging the way he is right now, just a pleasure to watch. Stuck the follow-through right there. This could be really good. That's well played. Places it about 10 feet out for birdie. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round.
Well, you don't always get the result you deserve.
Getting set now over the putt.
How did that not go in?
Those are painful from that distance.
Yeah, just another one added to the card. Big mistake.
This to avoid a huge number. This is for bogey. Drops not 1 but 2 shots with that double bogey. Frank, as you know, the finishing holes at a major championship can make even the world's #1 player buckle under the pressure. How do you avoid that?
Well, with a good drive to start here, there's a series of bunkers that start about 300 yards down the right side. You'd like to start your tee shot on those and maybe work it back towards the fairway to get a little bit more run and make this hole reachable.
He just blasted that one down the fairway, out there about 325 yards.
This could be a huge momentum swing here, Frank.
Yeah, one more good swing, and he's going to have an eagle putt coming up. I know you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but he's well on the cards.
On the green in regulation.
Even par currently.
And he has it, Frank.
I don't believe it.
Now the run to the finish beginning here at the 16th, Frank.
And there's certainly a chance for 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, you name it down here. But it's all going to start with one thing, and that's a good drive.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Well, that one didn't work out. Didn't look bad in the air. It hit the green, but didn't sit.
Yeah, it was never going to stop.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Okay, good shot on the dance floor. So a tester from 4 feet. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
The final hole at a major championship. Suck it up and then lock it up if you can.
And this hole is anything other than straight. It looks like it bends to the left, but the tee is so far left it forces you to go right. Miss left, it goes down in a canyon full of bunkers. Miss right, and that second shot just becomes so much longer.
Always want that last drive of the day to be a good one, and they've done it. That is excellent. Frank, this is money time. The approach shot here at 18.
Well, there's that carry over 7 Mile Creek. That's the biggest problem. So this long iron hit into this green, got to take plenty of club to make sure it finds its target.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday.
Well, birdies are hard to come by in this situation. So tight.
Keeps him right in the thick of it. Just a fantastic week of golf. Add that one to the win count.
A lot of great quality players out there, and to come on top of that leaderboard is truly a great accomplishment.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live first-round coverage of the Charity Invitational. Frank, through the years, there have been some great winners at the Open Championship played at Royal Troon.
Well, just in recent history, remember Mark Kalkovecchia in the playoff with Wayne Grady and Greg Norman. There was also Todd Hamilton when he beat Ernie Els in the 4-hole playoff. And back in 1996, Justin Leonard was to win his Open Championship.
Tom Watson also won an Open Championship here. Tom Weiskopf, his only major, that was 1973. The great Arnold Palmer, Bobby Locke, they all won at Royal Troon. He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot, he is on the fairway, over 300 yards. This one looks right on point. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Settles in over the putt. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time that one gets him in the top 10.
Resuming the action, and let's go out to hole number 11. Nothing noteworthy here in the first round, Frank, but still plenty of golf to be played.
That's right, Rich. A little bit of a dry spell, but really not a lot of damage done.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Frank, this is just a pleasure to watch. A player hitting on all cylinders at the top of his game.
Notice it's just flowing too. There's not a lot of deep analysis going through his mind. Just one step in front of the other. If your swing's there, you don't have to find it. If your putting stroke's there, you don't have to find it. Just let it happen.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. Player knows they're on the move with that birdie. Quick glance at the leaderboard. They can see, Frank, they're not out of it.
Things are very volatile right now.
Back here at the 12th, and this is a hole that heads back towards the water. You might not see your tee shot land over the ridge in the middle of the fairway here, Frank, so what's the best strategy?
Well, it's called the fox, and you have to be cunning like a fox here. This one has a slight bend to the right, and a little like the previous hole, this is another fairway that certainly requires your best tee shot.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
Oh, that incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Clean this up with a tap. Starting to put it together right now, Frank.
Doing that trio at the top.
Frank, on paper, 13 seems pretty straightforward. But it's not that simple, is it?
No, very stringent tee shot. Gorse right and left, plus a little sort of mound with some rough on down the right side. So really, you've got to hit the ball down, not just the fairway, but the left side of the fairway.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. Okay, 20 feet, not too bad. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
How does that not go in?
Amazing. Stroke looked good. Line looked good. Just did not take that final break.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Frank, a solid par right there, maintains his position. Heading for home now, Frank, the par 3 14th, just under 180 yards. What's the key here?
Well, it's rather narrow at the front there. There's 3 bunkers, but it's the second 2 that you really worry about, that narrow the front of this green up. Plus, the front is slightly raised, so ideally you want it to fly more towards the middle where it starts to widen up.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now. Second shot.
That was a nice birdie, and no doubt he's feeling pretty good about his position on this leaderboard.
A series of good holes in a row has got him to this point.
Frank, now at the 15th, and how hard is this par 4?
The key really is to get the ball on the fairway here. Avoid those 3 bunkers, because this is one of the flattest greens on the golf course. Get the ball on the green here. Any putt's makeable.
Good tee shot right in the fairway and plenty long.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
This could be a good one. That is classy.
Well, a chance of going in.
Just a couple of feet. Now comfortably inside that cut line, the former national champ makes birdie. Well, Frank, round 1 in the books. Look who's on top of the leaderboard.
And that's with some strong play today. They don't really need to look back. Strong play heading into the second round tomorrow.
PGA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live second round coverage of the Charity Invitational. Located in Troon, Scotland, founded in 1878, Royal Troon Golf Club playing host to the Open Championship 8 times and is slated to host its 9th major championship in 2016. I'm Rich Lerner for EA Sports, and alongside me today, my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. Frank, you've played in the Open Championship on a couple of occasions here at Royal Troon. It's a golf course that features some breathtaking scenery, and it can also serve up some breathtaking golf.
True links golf course, Rich. Relatively soft start can certainly lull you into that false sense of security, and then the golf course really starts to open up. That homeward 9, often coming back into a prevailing breeze, is very much a stern test.
Great lie, and what a great shot. He has really hit it a long way. Now the second shot to the par 5.
Should be safely on deck. It just came out blazing. As soon as it hit the green, it was never going to stop.
On the green in regulation. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
And with that birdie, moves into a tie for the lead.
We've got ourselves a battle right now, Rich.
Frank, we're moving inland now, and what are we facing here at this par 4 7th hole?
Just a dog leg to the right. Ideally, just a little cutoff. He's loading up on it.
Look at the coil there. Gave that the full treatment. Get up.
Huge with a capital H.
Moved it a long ways.
I tell you, there's long and long. And that, with a little bit of breeze behind, it's long.
He rode the wind there to payday. He's going to have a good look coming up.
We just saw a player in total control of what he's doing. Didn't miss a green in regulation all day long. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Yet another birdie and on the march, 7 under for the tournament. Frank, here we are. All of 123 yards. It's the famous postage stamp hole.
It sits up there nice and proud. It's protected by 5 bunkers, but avoid the ones on the right. They're the deepest, all the way down on that right side.
That looked like a miss hit, Frank.
The lie was okay. It's a little surprising. Maybe wrong club.
In the cup. What a shot. Can't get much better than that. All right, Frank, as we arrive at the par 3 8th, the only thing I can think of is if a 71-year-old guy can make an ace here, well then, so can our gamers.
Well, they certainly can. At 123 yards, well, you think it'd be, why shouldn't it be called the postage stamp? Go with too much club, it's one you'll MO. Long and straight.
That's how you do it.
This is how the game is supposed to be played. This has been just outstanding. Beautiful to watch.
And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green.
Good swing, good shot yet again.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track.
Settles in over the putt.
Oh, I thought he had that.
Just a little too much juice on that birdie putt, Frank.
It was bold, very bold.
He needs this for par. Frank, a par here, that's just fine.
Well, Rich, 2 rounds in the books, and it's easy to see why the leaders are on top of that leaderboard.
Excellent performance, but still a long ways to go in this tournament.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Charity Invitational. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Always a treat to be in Scotland, Frank, and at one of the oldest golf clubs in the world, Royal Troon.
It's getting close to 150 years old. It was first established all the way back in 1878. Actually, the original golf course only had 5 holes on it. But over the Open Championship roster, this has probably been the most successful, or provided the most success to American players. The last 6 Open Championship winners were all American.
Has one of the most famous holes in all of major championship golf, the 123-yard par 3 8th. It's known as the postage stamp, and one of the legends had a really nice moment there many years ago.
the late Gene Sarazen, the Squire. He had a little ace there, all televised too, and it was a great way to remember his phenomenal career.
Frank, this is a way to make golf easy when you can hit it that deep.
Oh, I'm going to say, I know that first number's a 3. I'm guessing the second one's a 2. Let's call it 320.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
It's in the hole. Just a sensational shot right there. Hole number 11 is called Railway. Frank, it looks as though it should be called Gorse because that's about all I see on this first shot.
Without doubt, the toughest tee shot you're going to face at Royal Troon. This is hit the fairway or start racking up a big score. There's always advantage of hitting it further than most, Rich, and straighter than most. When you put the two together, it's just straight up a head start.
Get down. Look out.
It's over. The green.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Really starting to shine. Moves to 10 under for the tournament. Back here at the 12th, and this is a hole that heads back towards the water. You might not see your tee shot land over the ridge in the middle of the fairway here, Frank, so what's the best strategy?
Well, it's called the fox, and you have to be cunning like a fox here. This one has a slight bend to the right, and a little like the previous hole, this is another fairway that certainly requires your best tee shot.
He just blasted that one down the fairway, out there about 325 yards. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Ooh, what a shot right there. Beautifully done. Frank, break down the par 4 13th for us.
Another par 4 that bends to the right. Lots of undulation on this fairway. This is the first of 6 straight holes that head in the direction of the clubhouse.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. On the tee here at 14, it's another par 3, Frank.
You don't get caught looking at the front of the green. That's where it's at its most narrow. Ideally, something that pitches just into the top of that mound.
That was a solid strike and a good result. 11 feet away.
So the dominant performance continues.
Yeah, we're watching two tournaments right now, the one at the top and the rest.
Now at the 15th at Royal Troon Golf Club, 483-yard par 4. This, Frank, is one of the hardest holes in the course.
Certainly a stout par 4 at that distance. If you're playing in the degrees, then 260 yards is certainly going to be a big tee shot. But 260 yards takes all the bunkers out of play.
Outstanding tee shot.
Yeah, ball sitting up. You don't have to worry about the wind or anything there. You just take a full-blooded cut at the second shot from here.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Nothing wrong with that one. Only about 15 feet away and a chance for birdie. Made par yesterday. This one for birdie.
Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
This putt for par.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
And that wraps up the third round. Just one more to go before we crown our champion.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm looking at my crystal ball, Rich, but that champion that we see tomorrow might be the one just sitting at the leaderboard on top of it right now.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Charity Invitational. But this could be really good, Frank.
Oh, straight at it.
Can't ask for much more. Right in the fairway here at 13.
Second shot.
Frank, which way is this headed?
Well, judging by his body English, looks like it's heading a little right. There is a bit of green out there, though.
Steady all day long. That one about 20 feet away. He'll settle.
Birdie try again here today. Frank, that's not one you're necessarily thinking about making.
No, just a good putt, though. There's no two ways about that. He's putting well.
Those keep the round going, those par putts. Heading for home now, Frank, the par 3 14th, just under 180 yards. What's the key here?
Well, it's rather narrow at the front there. There's three bunkers, but it's the second two that you really worry about that narrow the front of the screen up. Plus, the front is slightly raised, so ideally you want it to fly more towards the middle where it starts to widen up.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
This would be a huge momentum swing. This one's for birdie.
And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Frank, now at the 15th, and how hard is this par 4?
The key really is to get the ball on the fairway here. Avoid those three bunkers, because this is one of the flattest greens on the golf course. Get the ball on the green here. Any putt's makeable.
This, the second shot here at the par 4. That is tasty looking right there from just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
No putter, no problem. Slams that into the cup. At the 15th, this par 4 is over 480 yards.
The key here really is the 3 bunkers, 2 on the left, 1 on the right. 260 yards gets you past that. If you find the fairway here, then you don't have to worry about the 3 bunkers that are short of this green.
Frank, not easy to keep your eye on the target when you've just splashed down.
Yeah, but on the flip side too, 1 bad shot doesn't have to lead to 2.
So hit the previous shot in the water, took a drop. This now the 3rd shot. Slight waggle, relaxed arms, ready to go. Well, Frank, the wind is really starting to pick up.
You've got to fixate on the direction now. If you get the direction wrong and or mistime one of those gusts, all sorts of problems.
As his par. '17th here at Royal Troon. This is a very strong par 3, isn't it, Frank?
Well, if rabbits have teeth, then this is why it's called rabbit. Very, very strong par 3. This looks like it's going to find the target.
That's an outstanding shot right there, and it sets up a really good look at birdie. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
Comfortably knocks it in.
Frank, at the 1989 Open Championship, Greg Norman was in great position in that playoff with Mark Calcavecchi, and I believe it was Wayne Grady. What happened to Norman?
Well, he started off tremendous in the playoff. The playoff was 1, 2, 17, and 18. He birdied the first and the second hole. Missed the 17th green just on the left. Took 3 from the edge, which allowed Calcavecchi and Wayne Grady back in. Then took driver up off 18. It bounced just 1 hop too far and found that bunker on the right side. And, of course, the rest was history, and Mark Calcavecchi was crowned the Open champion.
Yeah, the Great White Shark, so often so unlucky at major championships. Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity to win the Charity Invitational. Just a little too much juice on that birdie putt, Frank.
It was bold, very bold.
No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
And that wraps up the final round. Just a great today.
Couldn't agree more, Rich. I think this one will have to go down in the books as an absolute classic. Fantastic play, not only in the course today, but all week long.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. It's the opening round of the Pittsburgh Invitational. And hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. We are at Oakmont Country Club in western Pennsylvania. Frank, the site of so many historic moments. Great players have made their mark here. Sam Snead, Ben Hogan, Jack Nicklaus, Ernie Els, a long and distinguished list.
Oakmont, if it's not the most difficult golf course in North America, Rich, it's certainly one of the most difficult golf courses. With its 210 bunkers, really personified by the church pews, the hard and slick greens that slope away from the player and the tight fairways. This golf course always requires the utmost precision.
This is when the game is fun, Frank, when you get one high in the air and you have a down breeze and you just watch it stays in the air forever.
Yeah, the hang time on that.
So, Frank, downhill shot, what's the right way to play it?
Well, normally downhill, you're also reducing the amount of loft. So you got two choices, either hit a little bit easier or actually take a little bit more loft.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Frank, how did he do there?
Well, he's inside 30 feet, but 27 feet, it's not exactly what you'd call close.
Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
That may have been a bit too much to ask for there, that distance putt, Frank.
Yeah, it's fine to be greedy before you hit the putt, but after you've hit it, two from that distance is fine.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Well, that's just a poor putt, Frank, and now let's hope he doesn't make Michael Bublé.
He's hardly going to be singing after that one. It went from bad to worse, and right now, horrible.
What do they say, Frank? Golf spelled backwards is
Flog.
flog. Let's go down to the 11th. Time to turn it around, isn't it, Frank?
Yeah, time's now, that's for sure. Some poor play, scorecard reflects that. Some good play, and the scorecard will also reflect that.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Perfect. And in the hole. What a shot.
Well, the par 5 12th here at Oakmont is no cupcake. It measures in at 606.
Well, when he goes after it like he is here.
Are you kidding me? Come on, you can't hit a ball that hard.
That is crushing it beyond all crushing. Ooh, that is long.
Great lie, and what a great shot. He has really hit it a long way. Playing his second shot here at the par 5.
Frank had hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
Yeah, you wonder what he's thinking on that.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. And it makes the green in regulation. So coming off the birdie on the previous hole, a chance now for yet another one.
And momentum all in his favor.
Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Just a couple of feet. Well, that's disappointing. He misses the par putt, and he'll have this for bogey.
Locked in on the read and the speed. That's a bogey putt, dropping down the leaderboard a bit, now at 2 over par.
Pushing our way into this back 9, we arrive at the par 3 13th. It's 183 yards.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie.
Really. This is an awkward length.
Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the course.
Not very happy with that one. Trying to get out of here with just one dropped shot. This is for bogey. Not his best effort right there. That's a bogey, and now 3 over.
Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. We're at the 14th hole at Oakmont Country Club. Frank, it's only 358 yards. How good is the scoring opportunity here?
This is certainly one of the best chances on the back 9 here for birdie. That's for sure, Rich. Just a long iron off the tee there, threaded in between bunkers that adorn both sides of this fairway. To set up to what you would say on Oakmont standards is a relatively gentle green.
Well, that was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Just want to nestle this one down to within a couple of feet.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. He'll need to be strong with this. And getting ready for the putt. That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Drops not one, but two shots with that double bogey. Well, not an especially good start to the tournament, Frank, through one round. They might be in jeopardy of missing the cut.
They have to remember right now it's just one round, and they are, as you were saying, in the outside looking right in at the moment. But you never know. I've seen golf tournaments won from further back than this.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Pittsburgh Invitational. A great way to start a hole, nicely placed in the fairway. It's a big shot right here, second to the 15th hole. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Once considered the best player at the college level, our featured golfer makes birdie, sitting comfortably inside the cut line. Frank, this is a point in the round where you really need to summon your best stuff. Par 3 of 231 yards. You know the pressure's building. We're at the 16th hole. And you have a long iron in hand. You can't flinch. You can't take it halfway back and go. This has to be the complete swing, and you have to really have the nerve on this shot.
Yeah, this shot has to be hitting right out of the button, that's for sure. One thing to consider, though, in the back of your mind, it's always better putting back uphill. Well, uphill is actually from the back of the screen. So you actually can be a little braver on 16 than what you might think standing on that tee, because a little long is better than a little short.
That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his middle.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. Now on to the 17th hole, and Frank, in so many ways, this determined the outcome of the 2007 U.S. Open. Jim Furyk had his issues here. It's just 313 yards, but it can really play
with a player's mind.
It's such an unusual par 4 for a US Open, plus also where it comes in the round, because the options, and there's only really two, is like a 4 or 5 iron, sneak it up the right side, or you take a driver directly at the green. You would think there's something in between, but really there isn't. And that's why, to your point, it stopped Jim Furyk, it stopped Tiger Woods, it allowed Cabrera to win. It also helped Ernie Els, who went with the driver option there back in 1994. So 17, it's short, it's tempting, it is at a US Open, but it is still demanding.
Frank, well off the pace, but the true professionals, they keep digging, trying to get better.
This is where so many of the legends, from Hogan to Nicklaus to Miller to Els, made their imprint. And don't forget about Angel Cabrera, the last time the U.S. Open was played here. The 18th hole, the clubhouse straight ahead. What a view, and what a moment in the championship.
I mean, that is one of the hardest drives I've ever seen. Just let it rip.
I knew it right away. Picked up the tee, didn't even look at it. We can see it. It's perfect. Right down the middle of the fairway. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. That will be a great look at birdie. Par yesterday. Now for birdie.
Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important that this one goes in.
He'll take par and move on.
Don't forget third round coverage coming your way tomorrow on EA Sports. For Frank Nobilo, I'm Rich Lerner, saying so long for now. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Pittsburgh Invitational.
On the green and looking at a birdie opportunity. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
This one just requires a little bit of focus.
He's made it. All right, Frank, take us down onto the 7th hole, par 4 at 434 yards.
Another one that's just another great driving hole. Bunkers on both sides of the fairway. You can't really bail out either way. Used to be some trees in that down the right side. They've been removed, replaced now by fescue. So if you do miss those bunkers right or left, it's not exactly one of the easiest chip out to the fairway. Another one that's a must-hit fairway. Reason why? It's a long par 4, and it's the only way you're going to hit this par 4 and 2.
That is massive off the tee.
Meters, yards, I don't care how you measure that. That's got to be what? 300 meters, 325 yards, something like that. Should be safely on deck.
Well, that's how you play the game, right there.
Even par currently.
So into the top 15 on the leaderboard with that birdie. A few more, and who knows, maybe top 10 or top 5. Here at the 8th at Oakmont, a famous hole. And Frank, it's not often we say of a par 3 that it is a beast, but the 8th at Oakmont is just that.
Yeah, you can imagine a 300-yard par 3 to a flat green. That would be hard enough. But imagine a 300-yard par 3 at a US Open to a green that goes up at the front and then crowns at the top and then slips away at both sides. That's the 8th hole.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Come on, you have to make that, don't you? Drop shot here at the 8th. Trying to limit the damage here. This putt is for bogey. Blemish on the scorecard. A bogey. Here we are at the 9th, par 4, 477 yards. Frank, this is a rugged hole.
It is. It used to be a par 5. Some say it should still be a par 5. Long, straight hole. Runs alongside the first hole there. Bunkers left and right. And, of course, if you find the rough, the remnants of what it used to be a par 5 is that nice little cross bunker in the middle of the fairway, which forces you to lay up.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Well on the green, but far from the hole.
Yeah, a little bit of a head scratcher. A lot of work coming up here.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Locked in on the read and the speed.
Frank, it's been that kind of a tournament. Another bogey.
Yeah, it's not exactly a small gap between that player there and the rest of the field. That gap's got to feel like the Grand Canyon right now.
Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that?
So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough. From 105 out. Frank, this is good golfing weather. Nice strong breeze. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here. Not a problem there, Rich.
This is a 22-foot putt. No, that's not the way you want to start the back nine. Missed putt, bogey, and a drop shot. And he makes it for a bogey here. Moving on to the 11th hole here at Oakmont. Par 4, 379 yards. Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards. Little uphill to this green, Frank. That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. On the green in regulation. Now this for birdie. Came away with a bogey on the previous round. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Different day, different hole. Made bogey yesterday. He'll do better this time, it looks like. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Frank, you've been there at so many tournaments around the world. One round to go, a chance to win. What's that feeling like?
Oh, this is the fun part. Knowing whether or not your body can handle the situation. You've got to push it to the limit. But that's what sport and golf is all about. Trying to do something that you've dreamed of for so long.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's the final round of the Pittsburgh Invitational. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobila. We are back in the state of Pennsylvania getting set to kick off the round here at one of the great golf courses in the world, Oakmont Country Club. Frank, you're very familiar with it because you were right in the mix down the stretch at the 1994 U.S. Open right here at Oakmont.
And Rich, it's so good just to be back here. You know, there's so much history in Oakmont. It's been a host to so many prestigious tournaments in our sport, such as the U.S. Amateur, the U.S. Open, the Women's U.S. Open, and the PGA Championship. It's just one of the true gems on the golf landscape.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Good, clean contact and a nice result and a chance for birdie coming up. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Those keep the round going, those par putts. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobila. We're at the 14th hole at Oakmont Country Club. Frank, it's only 358 yards. How good is the scoring opportunity here?
This is certainly one of the best chances on the back nine here for birdie, that's for sure, Rich. Just a long iron off the tee there, threaded in between bunkers that adorn both sides of this fairway. To set up to what you would say on Oakmont standards is a relatively gentle green.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way.
Great shot out of the rough. He avoided all the troubles just to get that on the green.
That was not an easy shot. He'll settle.
Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Good putt. Well, how about this hole, Frank? 499-yard par 4 15th. All you want.
Oh, that's for sure. The church pews down the left. It's about 340 yards to get all the way past them, so that's not really an option. Bunkers down the right side, really, they tell you, you've got to somehow hit something in between both of those. And the reason why it's another fairway you want to hit is a long second shot that's a little uphill to a green that, well, just like all the others, is going to take something special. Got to be careful here. Downhill, he's got to time it good because your weight's a little bit more on your front foot.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
Yet another demanding hole here at Oakmont. The par 3 16th, 231-yard par 3. Frank calls for a well-struck long iron.
It certainly does. It's going to favor something that's hit a little higher and a little softer. If you could just mentally cut this green in half and just sort of look at the left half of this green, that's really the best way to play this hole. And the reason why is the general contours all move to the right. That ball can still funnel down to the right side of the green.
And that one lands in the first cut, Frank.
Interesting choice coming ahead here. It'll be interesting to see how he reads this lie.
Just in the first cut of rough, not a bad lie. The only issue is he might get a jumper here. Just a little tap in here. Well, too bad. He gives one back.
17th hole at Oakmont, par 4. Only 313 yards, and yet, Frank, it was so pivotal. The last U.S. Open played here in 2007.
It was pivotal for a lot of different reasons. Strategy being one. Some elected to go down the right side with just a net iron. Others went directly at the green, did not get the ball up and down. Furyk and Tiger Woods come to mind in that situation. You can see the green's just perched up there. If you do lay it up, you don't quite get a full look at this green because you have to lay it up down that right side.
Great knees, great hands in this shot.
Yeah, touch. You have to have that feel. You have something between the ball and the club face, so it's a different feel, but you also have to have imagination.
Oh, it looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
You know how to play this shot, Frank, right? You keep your chin up, you look down your nose at the ball, you have to pick it cleanly, and keep your head still. Pretty good shot right there. And getting ready for the putt. That's just a poor putt right there. No other way to say it. And a drop shot, a bogey at 17. Just a couple of feet.
Well read.
This is where so many of the legends, from Hogan to Nicklaus to Miller to Els, made their imprint.
He's going for a little extra. That club must have melted after that one.
Frank, uphill shot. What did you like to do on a play like this?
The biggest thing really is to try and work on your balance. You've got to make sure you get through the shot and normally take an extra club.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he was thinking on that.
So, Frank, just from the fringe, what's the best way to hit this shot?
The best players would chip. This is going to be risky, though. I don't know if he's got the skill.
Not his best stuff right there. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Really no chance to go in there. Frank, how do you explain what we saw here?
It's a mess. It's probably the easiest way to put it. This is a case of anything that could go wrong. Not just probably, it did.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the start of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Northeast Invitational.
Like the looks of this one.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot, he is on the fairway, over 300 yards. This is a good-looking shot. Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie.
It's at sneaky distance.
That's just downright embarrassing. On the putting surface and now off on the fringe. Wow. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. Fifth hole, and we pick up the action. Early in the round, still holding steady, even par on the day.
Yeah, it's got that feel it could go either way here. Next few holes will probably tell us which way.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Frank, straight uphill with this approach shot, what do you have to factor in terms of club selection and setup over the ball?
Well, you're going to have to take at least an extra club to make up for that added elevation. And also, it's tougher to get onto that front foot.
Down, little Sheba. Down! Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Settles in over the putt. Once considered the best player at the college level, our featured golfer makes birdie, sitting comfortably inside the cut line. Moving on to hole number 6, par 3 of 198 yards. 170 yards. Frank, at a 72-hole stroke play event, do you like birdie fests where, say, 28, 30 under par might win it, or do you like a good old-fashioned grind them out where you might be able to win the championship at, say, 7, 8 under par?
Yeah, I like the latter, really, because I think it tests the mental fortitude. Normally, if people are in the mid-20s under, the golf course is a little easier. It's a little more forgiving. Greens are flatter and all that. And therefore, I'm not saying it's one-dimensional, but it's closer to that. When you have a good old barn blowing out there with the rough thick and bunkers are difficult and greens are fast and undulating, every part of your game is stressed to the limit. And, sort of 10 under, I always think, is like a really good litmus test for a great tournament.
Good contact, good result. This is going to be an interesting day. The wind is howling, or as they would say in Scotland, just a wee breeze. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
That is impressive. Hit every single green in regulation today. Well done. These putts keep the round together.
How did that not go in?
Just a little too much juice on that birdie putt, Frank.
It was bold. Very bold.
And he's putting for par now. Holding steady now at 2 under par. Now another par 3. We're at the 8th. Frank, it's only 165 yards.
It is, but when you look at the green, you can see how narrow it is. Actually, the green is nearly a figure 8, so it's obviously the right number hole. Bunker's sort of short leftish and that little pocket area on the right, so it'll punish anything left or right, even though the hole's just that meager yardage.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Starting to make the move, now to -3 with yet another birdie. We move to the 9th hole, and we begin to go inland, Frank. I'll miss some of the views along the ocean. I won't miss the nerves with the potential of a golf ball sailing off into the Atlantic Ocean. That said, par 5, you think about a scoring opportunity, but then I look at the scorecard, and it says this is the number 6 handicap hole. That's pretty tough.
It is, and the reason why is there's trouble both sides of this fairway, and that's normally sand and cliffs, and the designer's really thrown the boat out, excuse the pun. We are on the coastline here. This whole dog legs to the left, and ideally you just sort of like to go fairway, fairway pitch. That's the prudent way to play the hole, but of course everybody likes to chance the driver and reach the par 5 and 2. Miss, pay the price.
That one ends up in the rough.
That went sideways.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in.
Frank, obviously way too much club there.
You got to think something like that, or at least misread the wind. This is never going to sit down.
Well, this is how you build a good round, Frank. You just keep hitting greens. So they'll tap in. Did the job right there. That's the end of round one, and we saw a lot of good golf out there today, Frank.
And it was a bonus to anyone that got off to a good start today.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the start of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Northeast Invitational.
Frank, this game has taken us all over the world to some absolutely beautiful spots, and this is one of the prettiest I've seen in a long time, the cliffs at Lighthouse Point along the eastern coast of Maine.
Yeah, it's always fun when we head up in the northeast area. Golf's been in this area for a long, long time. This golf course hasn't. Rather than new design by Brant Patel, and it's lengthy, 7,700 yards. It gets to hit just about every club in the bag, so good test today.
Well, that is a really good tee shot right there, Frank.
I think that tipped the 300-yard mark.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side.
Well, bring the hammer, why don't you? Setting up an eagle opportunity.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt.
Excellent lead for birdie to move to 5 under for the tournament. Twelfth hole now, and Frank, the long hitters could have an advantage here.
If they want to take a very dangerous line over that left side, this is really where the shot maker has the advantage. That hole bending completely to the left. You'd like to hit a draw there, so use those bunkers down the through side of the fairway and then just sort of shape that ball towards the green. Interesting shaped green, really 3 different sections to this, and of course 3 bunkers, each protecting a different portion.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Now this for birdie, came away with par in the previous round.
Frank, all of a sudden, another player to factor in on this leaderboard.
Yeah, and things are starting to tighten up right now. Going to see where the next move comes from. He's loading up on it.
Look at the coil there.
Gave that the full treatment. Get up.
Whoa, that is long.
Nothing to argue about there. Right in the fairway.
Second shot.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time.
That's an absolute beauty.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie. You'd love to get this one. Big putt for birdie. It's a nice birdie right there.
Could not have come at a better time. Third place now.
Now at the par 3 14th, over another body of water. Frank, you could make some big numbers on this golf course. I would think if you walk out of here today having shot under par, you have to be really happy.
Certainly is big boy golf playing around the cliffs at Lighthouse Point, Rich. And this is another example here at this beefy par 3, 240 yards. You can see Lake Zimmer protects the front of this green and to the right. That's obviously where they get all their irrigation water from. But it's enough.
That was a nice birdie, and no doubt he's feeling pretty good about his position on this leaderboard.
Series of good holes in a row has got him to this point.
15th hole, and Frank, a return to sanity. 387 yards, par 4.
Yeah, second easiest hole on the golf course. Bends a little to the left. Just avoid the sand left and that little pot bunker on the right. Should be set up with a relatively short iron in to a green. That really, the only problem is if you go long. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Frank, this is a way to make golf easy when you can hit it that deep.
Oh, I'm going to say, I know that first number's a 3. I'm guessing the second one's a 2. Let's call it 320.
That's how you play the game. Right there. Stick it in close and then knock in the birdie. Par yesterday. Now for birdie. Putting up some impressive numbers out here now. 9 under for the tournament.
There you have it. The second round is complete. Another solid effort put together, and it shows on the scorecard.
And after 2 rounds, you really start to see not only who's playing well, but who's consistent.
PGA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the start of the FedEx Cup playoffs. It's third round coverage of the Northeast Invitational.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards.
Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. Good swing, good shot yet again.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look.
Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Oh yeah, he's made it for a birdie. Now at the 5th here at Lighthouse Point, it's a par 4. Frank, what are we in store for?
When you stand on this tee, Rich, you don't see any fairway bunkers, but be careful. It can certainly fool you. The goal really with the Cliffs course is to find fairways.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up. You can bring it in high. You can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Well, that's how you play the game. Right there.
Chance for back-to-back.
Pretty much doing everything right this week. 11 under for the tournament. Moving on to hole number 6, par 3 of 198 yards.
That is another laser right at the flagstick.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Good putt. Now to the 7th hole here at Lighthouse Point. Frank, we all love the shorter par 4s.
There's so many decisions to be made here at 7. You look at the scorecard, it's not very long, but when you start to flash your driver down that right side, you'll notice that fairway gets very narrow. So the decision is really, that's the prudent play or not. From there, it's just a short iron in, and you should be looking at birdie.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
That will be a great look at birdie. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
Well, a bit unusual. A third par 3 now on this front side. We're at the 8th. It's 165 yards, Frank.
And this par 3 looks nothing like the previous two. Heads towards the edge of the cliff there. Long green, almost a figure 8 or an hourglass shape. Bunkers left and right. It's going to have to be straight here.
Ooh, nice play right there. That's in pretty close.
Shouldn't be a problem here.
Frank, we have said it over and over. Another birdie. Frank, that front page of the leaderboard has been looking good all week.
You're exactly right, Rich. I think our winner is certainly going to come from that list right now. I'm excited for tomorrow's final round.